Modern cities depend heavily on communication technology. Mobile phones, internet services, television broadcasting, radio networks, and wireless systems all rely on communication towers. These towers are now common features of urban landscapes, raising above buildings, markets, roads, and residential areas. They connect people instantly across the world and have become symbols of progress. Yet, for birds living in cities, communication towers may create challenges that often go unnoticed. Urban areas are home to many bird species: pigeons, crows, house sparrows, mianas, parrots, kites, owls, egrets, swift, swallows, and migratory birds all share city environments. Parks, gardens, lakes, rooftops, trees, and abandoned buildings provide shelter and nesting sites. Birds have shown remarkable adaptability to adapt to urban life. However, as the number of communication towers increases, these structure may influence birds' behavior, movement, breeding success, and survival. One of the most visible impact of communication tower is collision risk. Many towers are tall and supported by wires or surrounded by multiple cables. Birds flying at speed, especially during low light, fog, rain, or night migration, may fail to detect these thin wires. Collisions can lead to the broken wings, head injuries, or instant deaths. Smaller birds traveling in flocks may be especially vulnerable when moving quickly between feeding and roosting sites. Migratory birds face particular danger. Many species travel long distances at night using stars, magnetic cues, and landscape features for navigation. In urban environment filled with artificial lights, towers may become hazardous obstacles. Birds attracted or disoriented by lights can circle towers repeatedly, exhausting themselves before colliding with structure or wires. During migration season, large number of birds may be affected in certain weather conditions. Tower lighting is a significant issue. Red and white aviation lights placed on tall towers are necessary for aircraft safety, but they can confuse nocturnal migration. Birds may become trapped in illuminated zones, flying around towers rather than continuing their journey. This increases the chance of collisions. Research in several countries has shown that changing lighting systems, such as using flashlights instead of constant lights, may reduce birds' mortality. Another impact involves habitat alteration. Communication towers are often built on rooftops, open grounds, hilltops, parks, nesting areas, or reduce quiet resting places. In already crowded cities where nocturnal habitat is limited, the loss of even small green patches can matter greatly for birds. Noise and the human activity associated with tower maintenance can also disturb sensitive species. Technicians visiting sites, generator noise, cooling equipment, and security activity may discourage shy birds from nesting nearby. Some adaptable species like pigeons and crows tolerate disturbance well, but smaller insectivorous or woodland species may avoid such places. Communication towers can change birds' behavior in increasing ways. Some species use towers as lookout points. Kites, crows, pigeons, and mianas often perch on tower frames because they offer height and wide views of the city. Raptors may scan for food from these structures, while pigeons may use ledges for resting. In this way, towers can function like artificial cliffs or trees. However, using tower as perches is not always safe. Sharp metal edges, hot surfaces, wires, and human disturbance can create hazards. Chicks nesting in towers cavities may also be exposed to weather or fall risk. One of the most debated topic is whether electromagnetic radiations from communication towers affects birds. Towers emit radio frequency signals used for communication. Many people worry that these signals harm birds directly by affecting navigation, reproduction, or health. Scientific evidence on this issue is mixed and still developing. Some studies suggest possible behavioral changes or stress in certain species under specific exposure conditions, while many others find no clear large scale population effects from typical tower emissions alone. Because birds are sensitive animals that rely on sound, light, magnetic cues, and behavior pattern, continued research is important. However, current evidence suggests that physical factors such as collision, lighting, habitat loss, and disturbances are more clearly documented threat than radiation itself. Urban bird species respond differently to towers. Pigeons often adapt well and may nest on nearby buildings regardless of tower presence. Crows and myanas commonly use towers as observation posts. Black kites may perch on taller structures while searching for food. House sparrows are less likely to use towers directly but may be affected indirectly if nesting sites disappear from surrounding buildings. Swifts and swallows, which fly rapidly through urban skies, catching insects, may face collision risk if towers are placed near feeding corridors. Owls may use tower sites at night, especially where rodents are common. Waterbirds near lakes or rivers may be affected if towers interrupt flight paths between wetland and feeding grounds. In South Asian cities such as Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad, Delhi, and Kathmandu, rapid urban expansion has increased the number of mobile communication towers. Rooftop towers are especially common in dense residential areas. These cities also host diverse bird communities, making towers planning important for consideration. Lahore, for example, sport pigeon, crows, black kites, house sparrows, roosting parakeets, myanas, bulbuls, doves, and seasonal migrants. Tower placed near parks, canals, wetlands, and tree-rich neighborhood may have greater ecological impact than towers in fully industrial zones. The good news is that communication needs and birds protection can exist together. Smaller planning can greatly reduce negative impacts. The first solution is careful site selection. Towers should be avoid wetland, major migratory routes, birds colonies, nesting cliffs, and important urban green spaces whenever possible. Environmental assessments before construction can help identify safer locations. Second, tower design matters. Self supporting towers without wires are often safe than towers because they remove many collision hazards. Minimizing unnecessary cables reduce obstacles for flying birds. Third, lighting can be improved. Studies suggest flashing aviation lights may attract fewer birds than constant burning lights. Shielding lights to reduce unnecessary glow may also help. Fourth, vegetation management around towers should be wildlife friendly. Instead of clearing all greenery, planners can maintain nearby shrubs and trees that support birds while keeping safety zone intact. Fifth, regular monitoring should be required. Dead or injured birds near towers should be recorded. If repeated collisions occur, mitigation measure can be introduced quickly. Public awareness is also valuable. Many people see towers daily but rarely think about their ecological footprints. When communities understand the issue, they can support better planning and wildlife sensitive policies. Technologies, companies, and government have an opportunity to lead by combining innovation with responsibility. As networks expand toward faster internet and smarter cities, biodiversity should not be ignored. Individuals can help by protecting local green spaces, planting native trees, supporting birds surveys, and reporting injured birds to wildlife rescue groups. Rooftop gardens and urban parks can offset habitat pressure created by dense development. Birds provide many benefits to city life. They control insects, clean waste, spread seeds, pollinate some plants, and bring beauty and sound to the urban mornings. If bird population decline, cities lose part of their ecological health and cultural richness. That is why infrastructure planning must include wildlife conservation. Communication towers are sign of human connection, but cities must also remain connected to nature. By using science-based design, better lighting, careful placement, and continued research, we can reduce harm to birds while maintaining the network modern life depend on. The next time you see a tower rising above your neighborhood, remember it is more than steel and antennas. It stands in shared airspace used by countless birds every day. Their safety depends on how wisely we choose to build. Urban progress does not need to silence bird songs. With planning and care, our cities can stay connected by signal and alive with wings. For more videos related to animals, do not forget to like and subscribe our channel.